Today on the Nerdy Gritty, YouTube is tightening its control on content creators to adhere to the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act.
One more world disappears inside it. Just another hopeless addict. Well, they make some man instead. If the drums don't get you, the guitars will.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Nerdy Gritty, where we delve deep into the details of pop culture. I'm Dez.
And I'm Fox.
You got that on the first shot.
I did. I was pretty proud of myself.
Children's Online Privacy Protection Act isn't an easy thing.
Yeah,
to
no,
get
it's
right
like
off
a
the
tongue
bat
twister.
there.
Yeah.
So well done, sir. Fox.
Yeah, thanks.
That's
me.
Wonderful.
Wait,
things.
sorry. I only go by the B-52 Bomberman now.
The B-52 Bomberman.
Yeah.
We had somebody comment on that, what some of their names were, and they had some legit names.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that. Oh man, the thing is that
no.
No. Oh, we had a mistake.
Fox,
my tea is now.
I made Fox.
There's so many leaves in my
he
tea.
Spilled it in his tea.
It's fine. It's fine.
I give you a little bowl to put that in. Yeah.
What?
Anyway,
I don't know.
This is our hot new tea content. Hot content of hot tea. Anyway, some of their names, the two that I like the most were The Inexistence.
Oh, that's a straight.
Isn't that so good?
How is that not already a Kojima character?
And then Dazzler Bayonet.
What? What? Dang. Okay, I'm gonna have to ask B. We're gonna have to text BDG because we talk all the time with him. Hey, how much did he pay you to just come up with this name generator for the next 12 Metal Gear Solid games?
The Inexistence is so
The Inexistence
good.
sounds like a boss in a Metal Gear Solid.
It really does.
Oh man. Okay. Well, that's
and then Dazzler Bayonet to me.
Dazzler Bayonet is like a
sexualized woman of a knife fighter or something.
Well,
like
in MGS, it could be a woman. It also could be a very flamboyant man.
That's true.
Yeah, who would have like a
poses. He'd be a posing guy.
He'd be posing and have a bayonet on a rifle. He'd be like Revolver Ocelot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their reason for having bayonet as the thing they'd least like to be stabbed with was because after you get stabbed, chances are you're going to get shot.
Yeah.
Like, that's
or you already
true.
have been and they're just finishing the job.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, B-52 Bomberman.
Thank you. Something
exciting happened this past weekend.
Okay.
The much anticipated Charlie's Angels released.
I haven't seen it yet.
People were so excited about it.
I can't wait to see the third iteration of a remake of a TV show from the 70s.
The box office prediction of this movie. Guess what the prediction was. What the box
prediction
office,
for the box office?
What did they predict that this was going to make in the opening weekend?
Who was making the prediction?
It's just called the box office prediction.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure exactly what that.
35 million.
10 million. It failed to reach those standards.
I knew it flopped, but I had no idea what the numbers were.
It came in at 8.9 million opening weekend revenue.
Oof.
Oof.
That hurts.
Oof. Elizabeth Banks, who I actually respect as a filmmaker. I think
she's funny and
she's funny.
She directed and wrote. She was on the all over this
one. She does Pitch Perfect. She did 2 and 3, and
right.
did a good job with those. She went the Ghostbusters route and blamed it on sexism.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I have a game for you.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Sexism. Let's play a game.
Woo!
That's what it. Okay.
So.
A little nervous.
Here it is. I have some quotes about this was some expectations. So I think deep down inside, she knew it was going to flop.
That's the thing. People making movies know when their movie is good and they know when it's bad.
So in an interview before the movie came out, that she had a lot of quotes on what might happen if it flops or why it would flop or things like that.
Here's why it might happen.
Yeah, here's why it might happen.
Cover my bases here.
So I want to go through these with you. And this is a game I called Take It to the Banks.
Take it. Oh, nice. That sounds like a Wait, Don't Tell Me game from NPR.
And I want you to tell me, did Elizabeth Banks actually say this or not?
Oh, okay.
Is this a real
so
quote
you've made
from her
up
or
some.
not? Yes,
okay, I'm excited. Let's do this.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
Here's the first quote.
Usually I'm not the one. answering the questions.
I
in the
know,
game.
right?
I'm excited.
I read this article and I'm like, oh, this is absolutely
That's good. That's
Okay,
good.
look, people have to buy tickets to this movie too. This movie has to make money. If this movie doesn't make money, it reinforces a stereotype in Hollywood that men don't go see women in action movies. Did Elizabeth Banks say that?
See, that would be, if she did, that's ridiculous. Like the new Terminator, I think did okay, and that was starring all three prominent good guys were women, and all were solid action roles. Like, yeah.
It was that was a female-led movie.
That was,
It really
and then
was,
like Arnold
yeah.
shows up, kind of like
He was just kind of there.
he
And
shows
look,
up
let's be
halfway,
honest,
and then
nobody sees 95-year-old Arnold Schwarzenegger as an action hero anymore.
No. He was fine in it. He was unnecessary in it. I mean, to be fair, so was Sarah Connor. But
Right.
I'm gonna go with yes. She said that.
Yes, she did.
Okay, yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. Yeah, that's very Ghostbusters-y. That's awful.
Let's keep going.
Okay.
Anyway, Fox, what have you been up to, man? How's it go? Oh, we talked for more than 20 minutes about that.
That's
Holy
all right.
crap. Let's
Yeah,
go fast.
that
What do you
tends to
got?
happen. So let's see. Pokemon came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
Pokemon Sword and Shield. I love it. I am not one who is complaining about the national dex being incomplete.
You know, now that it's out, I've heard no complaints about
Oh yeah,
it.
no, it's an incredible. It's like, as far as people like the game, I am not even to the first gym yet, which is to say
Jim
Crow.
Crow.
Yeah, that was the first
I was
one.
going to say Jim Parsons, but
Jim Henson.
you went
I went a different
real rough
direction.
direction with that.
Jim Crow, the character from Dumbo.
Yep.
No, I'm not even there yet. I've already put 10 episodes in, which are at least half an hour long. It's a long game.
I started recording with my children, actually.
Oh yeah.
We are playing Lego Batman 3, and it's Dez and Kids play Lego Batman 3.
Yeah.
My son is the one playing. He's the one got the controller,
Oh,
and
man.
he is better than I am.
He's
at
all
this game.
about it.
He's
Yeah.
100% better than I am at this game. And it's funny because I think this was the first video game we got for him, and so he's beaten this game
Yeah.
a bajillion times.
Remember those days when you could be satisfied just playing the same game over and over again?
and over again.
Now I'm like, I'm halfway through this game, and what else is there?
So yeah, we were playing that, and I get my other kids come down
Yeah.
and are part of it. But the one that really gets me is Audrey, my oldest.
Your oldest.
She's 9 now, just turned 9, and is incredibly well spoken and like does really well with the
Good
microphone.
commentary.
I think I could see her doing this.
All
someday.
right.
Like,
It's gonna be the
like-
family business. The family business in 20 years will have 352 followers on
right?
YouTube.
Yeah.
And she'll take over.
So we're recording once a week, probably 3 or 4 episodes, not
Yeah.
much. And I'm gonna wait until probably we beat the game. It's not a very long game.
No,
then
yeah.
start posting it. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
Nice.
fun.
Nice. Speaking of your kids,
Yep.
my wife and I took 2 of them to go to Frozen Junior.
Frozen Junior.
We don't talk about plays or
I
musical
went and saw it
theater
as
or
well,
whatever.
actually. I took Audrey
Yeah,
to
you
see
did.
it.
We took 2 of your younger 2, and it was, I mean, as far as the play goes or the musical or whatever, it was, not for me. It was my first experience with Frozen. I'd still not seen the movie, so
Really?
this was me experiencing Frozen for the first time, and
Man,
I
please
probably will see Frozen 2. So it's gonna
go see Frozen.
I'm gonna leave
first.
Frozen out of the equation.
Please don't. No, don't. It's such a good movie. Look, this was high school, junior high, middle school students.
Middle
that
school
were
or younger, really.
only
I mean,
local-
there were some high schoolers.
Yeah, there were high schoolers in
Yeah.
it. Only local students, and so the quality of the production is going to be that. So it was great for what it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, I don't want to dunk on these kids, but I will
Exactly.
say that there were some voices that were better than others.
Agreed.
That's
Wholeheartedly
all I
agreed.
will say, and it was hard for me sometimes.
But you have to recognize
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Yeah,
I wasn't there
the
looking for.
talent pool is very
Yeah.
small.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But
all that
no,
to say,
so
though,
I don't.
all that to say, please don't base Frozen the movie off of this. Please don't base.
No, that's fair.
Frozen the movie
I
is so
completely
good.
understand.
It's Idina Menzel.
Sure, she's great.
My wife and I finished season 1 of Jack Ryan, the
Yeah,
TV show
I watched the first episode.
with John Krasinski, and it was fine.
Yeah, that's what I felt about the first episode.
Yeah, I will say this: the first episode's quality it maintains that quality. It's good, it's exciting. The excitement, of course, ramps.
Okay. Yeah.
But by the end of it, you're like, cool, all right.
Yeah, it just felt like an extended action movie.
And it's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like there's the unique side of it of which he's not an action hero.
Sure, that's kind of
He's an
the whole
analyst.
crux.
Yeah. And so him being in these action scenarios are a lot more intense
Yeah.
than normally because especially John Krasinski, who's a great actor, does a really, really fantastic job of showing him just not being comfortable in these situations.
As far as TV shows go, we're going to talk about The Mandalorian when it's done, like as a whole.
Right.
But I did watch the first 2 episodes also. I really loved it too.
Man.
I really enjoyed that, like, Baby Yoda was in another, I don't know why, but I loved him. He was just an adorable little
All
creature.
the Star Wars nerds are like, he's not Baby Yoda.
No, he's not.
guys.
He's Baby
and then
Yoda.
I'm like, what are you going to
Yoda
call
race.
him then?
Yeah.
We don't know the name of his race. Like, it's
Exactly.
never ever been revealed.
Exactly. So
what
he's
are we
Baby
gonna
Yoda.
call
Whatever. Who
him?
cares?
Yes.
But anyway, I love him. He's the best baby.
Yes.
And the movie, the show was really good. It did all the things you said last week or whatever, whenever we talked about it was.
It's a great Western.
It's a really great Western. The used future set design is really cool. The character design, the bounty droid from the first episode has been my favorite droid in all of Star Wars because he was actually acted like a robot.
Yeah.
Instead of just goofy side character or emotional, like, love interest essentially, like in Solo.
I saw 2 movies, both Disney Plus. One is Sword in the Stone.
Okay.
And I just wanted to bring it up because I watched it again for the first time in a long, long time, and it hit me. There is no antagonist in this movie. It is not protagonist versus anything. It is a movie about a young man who Merlin gleans, because he is a prophet of sorts, gleans is going to be very important someday.
Sure.
And so I want to teach you things. And that's it. It's just lessons that he's teaching Arthur. And it's super fun for it.
Yeah.
There's a couple of conflicts, but the conflicts are comedic and enjoyable. And it's just a super fun and lovable movie. And I really, really enjoyed watching it.
Great.
It's very different from all the other Disney movies out there. No bad guy.
Sure.
Number 2, I watched the new Dumbo movie.
The live action one.
The live action one. And it was...
Which is set in Joplin, Missouri.
Yeah, it is set in Joplin.
There's no
Missouri.
landmarks in it.
For a little while, at least. They leave.
Yeah, okay,
but-
yeah. There's nothing that would identify it as Joplin, but it is set in Joplin.
No, there are. They say we're in Joplin now.
Yes, they say that.
And there's a train that says Joplin.
Yes. But there's not, like, things that are in Joplin
No.
in the movie.
But
None of the Walmarts are there.
it is some of the most disappointed I've ever been in Tim
Yeah, it
Burton.
looked terrible. I didn't see it.
It wasn't bad per se. It was
It looked like
boring.
whatever. Yeah. I saw one movie, The Good Liar. This is a movie with Ian McKellen and Helen Mirren. I'm going to give you some spoilers here, but first of all, it's not really worth your time. It wasn't like the worst thing in the world, but it's just like...
Spoiler alert, don't watch it.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You got anything
nothing.
else?
No, that's it.
All right, let's get down
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
to the nerdy gritty, if you don't mind.
Hey everybody, before we get down to the nerdy gritty, I just want to point out that if you're hearing this, you are listening to the short version of the podcast of the nerdy gritty. If you are interested in hearing what we call the director's cut, you can head on over to our Patreon. That's patreon.com/dezandfox. And if you become a tier 2 or tier 3 patron, either $5 or $10 a month, then you would get access to the director's cut, which is a much longer version, usually about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of bonus content, as well as you'll gain access to all of the other content that we put on our Patreon. That means bonus videos, that means exclusive content, content you get before it comes out on YouTube, lots of games that we play. But if you can't do that, we really appreciate you for just listening, for liking, for sharing, for just being a fan. So thank you very much. Let's get down to the nerdy gritty.
So recently, if you are watching this on YouTube, there's a good chance you might know about this, or just if you're on the internet at all, because it's taken the internet by storm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So recently, there was a lawsuit. That's how I'll start this. There was a lawsuit between the FTC and YouTube. Essentially, there is something called the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act that was passed in
Truncated as COPPA.
Yeah, COPPA. That's what we'll call it. It was passed in. It's been out for a while. I have this article. It doesn't have the actual year recently ready for me, but came out a decently long time ago, designed to stop the internet from basically data mining and collecting info on children who are 13 and younger.
Year 2000 it came out.
2000. Wow,
Yeah.
that's earlier than I
19 years
thought.
ago.
Man, that's surprising that we got
took
an
this
internet
long.
rule that early in the internet.
Oh,
But anyway, so that has been around for a long while. It largely hasn't really had much of an impact, as far as I can tell, on
Right.
things like YouTube or Facebook or whatever, because most sites just say, hey, how old are you? And you can just choose and it doesn't matter. Like, then they just collect data because, well, we gave you the option. Tell us how, as
Right.
far as we know, that kind of thing. Well, there was a lawsuit against YouTube basically for their children's specific content that was created on, not by YouTube, but by their users, that those were indiscriminately also being targeted for, typical ads that would mine data and all that stuff, which would very likely be for kids 13 and under.
Right.
Children's shows or whatever you got, that people are creating specifically for young kids like that. Well, the result of this, that YouTube was found guilty, and they were fined $170 million, which is the largest fine ever collected under COPPA. They were,
Which YouTube's owned by Google, so for them that wasn't that much.
yeah, for
but-
them it was whoever owns Google is
Well,
just
here,
like,
let me get my wallet out.
yeah, you take a check. Just get my checkbook out. They also were, let's see, let me see if I can find this is such a long article. YouTube was also required to develop, implement, and maintain a system for channel owners to designate whether their content on the YouTube service is directed to children. Now, this revealed itself to the public basically a couple days ago. If you are a YouTube content creator, I don't know if it's just all users or if it's specifically people who create videos. I don't know if there's this distinction there. But basically, you had to decide. You had to manually choose: do you create
Is this
content?
made for children?
Is this made for children? Yeah,
It's literally every single individual video you upload.
right.
There is a yes or no checkbox. Is this for children?
There was also a general question that I answered for us.
Oh, okay.
Is your content for children? That might have been a specific video. Now that I think about it, because they've got a few different uploading things. I usually use the classic.
Yeah, I
but-
try and use classic. too.
Yeah, because it's much more convenient. You can upload more than one video.
Several videos at a time.
Yeah, so I don't know why they took that away. But anyway, so basically the onus is on the creator, the content creator, to designate whether or not their video is for children. And people's concern now with all of this, because most reasonable people, I would say, are not going to have a problem with the internet trying, with the government trying to stop people from data mining children. That's
yeah.
a pretty reasonable
Yeah.
ask.
I'm
We
okay
can talk
with
about that. Yeah. But the issue now is that it's very non-specific.
Incredibly vague.
What they ask you is it for children? And they have also gone out to say, you know what, we'll move to that eventually.
Right.
So let's just talk about that right there. What's the issue with this vague question of, is this for children?
For me, it was really, really in the vagueness of it, because they, first of all, we got an email, content creators got an email that talked about the severity of the situation, like letting you know, hey, lawsuits possible, bans possible, strikes possible on your account.
Yeah,
things
let's be
that.
clear there. The per video, the potential fine is $42,000
Per video.
Per video. This would be the FTC, the government, the Federal Trade Commission, suing the content creator, not YouTube.
Right. And so you're aware of this. You're aware of the consequences of these actions. And let's be honest, chances are you're not going to get hit with that $42,000 fine right off the bat.
Sure.
What very much
That's
could
the
happen,
max,
though,
I think.
is you could get a content strike And let's say they don't realize that until video 4 of a series that you're doing.
Yeah, if you upload a bunch at a time.
You could get all 3 strikes in one hit
Yeah.
and have your channel shut down entirely
Right.
without you even realizing you did something wrong. These are very real dangers that content creators face. And so, okay, we understand that. So let's go in. How do we prevent this? There is a checkbox. It says, is your content created for children? No, it is not intended for children. Yes, it is intended for children. And I mean, especially as Let's Play people who our content, especially if we're playing not an M-rated game.
I'm
T
playing
or below,
Pokemon right now, an E-rated game.
Right. We don't curse. We're you know,
my language is just by nature. I don't curse.
Yeah, and
I don't make jokes that are sexual in nature or whatever. Like,
and so, is it for children? No,
it's for everybody.
But could it be? Could children? Yeah, it's fine.
Absolutely, they could watch it.
And so I remember sitting there and thinking to myself as I was uploading some of our videos, okay, I need to figure out what this means. So it says, learn more. So I click this learn more, and it's like, does it have any of these things in it? And it's like, are there children in it? Do you consider children when you made the video? Are you using language that's intended for children? And all this other stuff. And I'm like, sort of?
Yeah.
Still. Like,
yeah, all of it's just like,
I
guess.
Area. And so for safety's sake, I'm going ESRB right now. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? Death Stranding is an M-rated game. No, it's not for children.
Yeah.
When I upload the Lego Batman games, I'll probably say, yes, these are fine for children. Or even then, I don't know. They're fine for children, but are they for children? I don't know.
Right.
And there is no clear statement in this.
Yeah, that's the real problem. So this article, it's from The Verge. Creator, let's see, they interviewed Dan Erdley, who reviews collectible toys on his channel Pixel Dan. He kind of is talking about what you're talking about. Creators are being held directly responsible by the FTC. The FTC decides that if the FTC decides that we are indeed targeting children, we'll be fined. That is, if you don't say that it's for children.
Right.
It's especially scary because the verbiage of kid-directed versus kid-attractive isn't very clear, and it's hard to know if we're in violation or not.
And that's so true. I mean, let's think for a moment here about there's some guys that we met at PAX one year called Retro Blasting. And Retro Blasting rates and review and talk about refurbishment, things like that, of old toys.
Right.
So old G.I. Joes, old Star Wars toys, things like that. This is a channel that talks about toys. But they're 30, 40-year-old toys.
Sure.
Is this for kids?
And they are not kids themselves.
Right. No, they are not children. And so, again, this is a toy channel. If kids go on YouTube, which a lot of parents just let their kids have free on YouTube,
sure,
and they type in toy review, which is an incredibly popular genre of YouTube for children,
100%.
Toy review, they're going to get retro blasting. That's something that very much
it's a thing that very possibly could
pop up. And so, are they going to be in trouble for gearing toward children or not? And so we come to this point where we as content creators have to be, I want to say aware, but even then we can't be aware enough. We don't know because there is no written clarity that's good enough.
Now, there is more of an issue here aside from just the fines. Within YouTube, it's clear that the child-directed videos will have fewer advantages on the platform. If you say this is a video made for children, directed toward children, it'll be the removal of targeted ads, and the number of other YouTube features that are also impossible without personal. Let's see. In particular, child-directed videos will no longer include a comment section, click-through info cards, end screens, notifications, or the community tab. Like, the things that make YouTube a community are no longer there. And I mean, this would obviously be detrimental, especially the targeted ads. Removal of targeted ads would be detrimental to those who make money off of YouTube, who are doing it. I mean, whether or not you're doing it specifically, it's going to reduce the amount of money you make from those ads. There will still be ads. There will be general, okay, this is a toy video. Okay, we'll put an ad that lands in that genre of whatever. But targeted makes much more, it's more expensive for advertisers to buy targeted ads. So as a result, people who have those types of ads on their videos get more money because of it. And so that you're removing a lot of that, which is de-incentivizing creators to be on their platform. That's a real big problem for YouTube, which is also making money off of those creators being, it's a recursive problem because everybody is just now going to lose more and more money.
Absolutely. Especially because, I mean, this is Twitch versus Mixer, but YouTube is also in an area where they control the vast majority of the video making like population. If anybody pops up right now and says, "Oh, hey guys, by the way, we have a much clearer system on the COPPA stuff."
Oh,
just so you guys know, we worked this out and we have it much clearer, much easier to handle, and it's going to take a lot of the stress off of you. If you want to come over to us, it's going to be way easier on the COPPA stuff.
Vimeo or Dailymotion or whatever other video hosting sites could take advantage of this opportunity.
And so YouTube's in a place right now where they need to do something about that.
Right. In a video explaining the changes to creators, this is continuing from the Verge, still in the Verge article. Ultimately, let's see, they explicitly declined to tell channel owners when to label a video. Not only is it vague, they said, nah, we can't. They said, ultimately, we can't provide legal advice. It said, we're unable to confirm whether or not your content is made for kids. That decision is up to you, taking into consideration these factors. Let's talk about that. Is that fair? I mean, literally thousands, millions of videos are put on YouTube daily. Like, it's ridiculous how much content is put up on there. Is that a fair statement to make? Like, it's not really...
I'm going to say yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, in as much as they're correct and they can't tell us if our videos are made for children or not.
Sure.
There is no possible way that they can find a way to even like rate or watch or even just try and get an idea of the video and be like, all right, this one's good, this one isn't. But I think they can be clearer. Like, it's not legal advice to say these are very clearly the things that fall into a video for children.
Right.
If these are your intentions, if these are the things that you're doing with the video, and if it is, language and content appropriate to this extent, and your intended audience is this, then your video is made for children.
Right.
But if you cross any of these lines, or even toe any of these lines, it is probably not made for children.
Right.
I think there could be a very, very clear outline of these are the things that we are looking for.
The
as
ESRB does it.
Yes.
The parental advisory sticker for music has specifics. They don't put them on each album or whatever, or digital. Man, I don't even know how that works anymore.
ESRB is a good
ESRB,
thing
I think
right
it's
now,
a good analog
because
to an extent.
Something else I want to talk about in this, though, is what constitutes a child. Is it 18 or 17 or under?
Right.
Because you know what? Our Death Stranding stuff, 16, 17, 14, 15, yeah, fine. Go watch our stuff. It's fine.
Maybe. There's nudity.
In Death Stranding? Oh, I guess.
Yeah.
You see a butt.
Yeah, and there's cursing in it. I mean,
right.
The thing is, this is all very subjective, and so at a certain point, it's
when is a child no longer a child? Is my question.
Yeah.
So let's say you're making your regular old video and you curse sometimes. It's your TikTok compilation or whatever that you're putting up. But other than that, it's fine. It's much, much better than a junior high cafeteria.
Yeah, that's true. That's the hard part here, is because part of me wants to just say, leave it free and clear. Parents, do your job.
Right.
That part of me wants to say that. But also part of me says that's unreasonable. Even the most helicoptery of helicopter parents cannot be there 24/7. They cannot control whether or not a friend of your child comes up at school and says, hey, watch this video. That kind of thing. And so to me, I think that it makes sense to have some sort of, I guess, even government in place. The ESRB is a industry thing. Right. It's not enforced by the government. It's a voluntary. Games choose whether or not they want to submit to the ESRB. That's only reasonable because gaming, there are far less, like, YouTube is an open content thing. Anybody can go onto YouTube at any time and see basically any video.
So here's the reality of the matter, though, is YouTube's not wrong, though.
Sure. And
especially as a parent, the understanding of first of all, data mining my children, trying
Right.
to get as much information as possible out of them. Therefore, you can sell more greatly to them, manipulate them now to be consumerists, things like that.
Sure.
Is frustrating.
Which has been around for a while. I mean, speaking of toys, like the old G.I. Joe shows and Transformer shows were essentially just 24-minute ads.
I mean, they were toys before they were shows. Like,
right,
it was exactly
right,
that.
exactly. Or even Pokemon was like that. That was a thing after the game came out and the cards.
And even to a more devious extent, like Joe Camel back in the day, the cartoon Joe Camel was found out to be targeting children to smoke.
So targeting children has been a thing for a while, and obviously it's nefarious. Like, we're not trying to claim you.
Yes,
that's a fair thing for the government to want to stop doing, or to make you stop doing.
Then second of all, there are videos out there that have like tried to go under the guise of children's content.
Yes.
And then are horrific.
Yeah.
Some Dora the Explorer or Peppa Pig stuff that's out there that's just ugh.
As well as the whole phenomenon of, I don't know if you've seen the super weird children's like videos that were a thing for a while and might still be, where it was like algorithm created just plug and play, like it'd be Spider-Man, Princess Elsa, outdoor adventure, pregnant Barbie, like, and it would just like be the title would just be a string of things that kids might search for, and it was all simply just pumped out to make as much money as possible, and it was nonsensical. It didn't make any sense, but a 3-year-old doesn't care. They just see Spider-Man and don't really think about what's happening.
I've seen ones where it's just like some mom playing with her kids' dolls on camera and like talking and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's it. But it's like you said, but the title is all of this keyword.
It's keyword. Yeah. It's a search engine optimization.
SEO stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, the kids on mom playing with dolls, that's even like, okay, fine. There was some very strange, really weird things that you can look into that, but YouTube got to a weird place. To me, what I see with this whole thing is, I mean, obviously YouTube is responding to being sued. Right. That's first and foremost why this is all happening. Right. They're covering their own liability, but also it also seems like a reaction to these kind of things that have been going on. Like, the whole algorithm of YouTube is such a mystery that people, it's mysterious, but also people have learned it enough to be able to game the system and target ads and also just make money off of it. And it feels to me like they're trying to do something. This could be helpful toward that. I don't think that's their main purpose. Again, it's money. They lost 170 million. We don't want to lose more, so let's try to do something about it. That's the last issue here, that the main issue that people have with all of this is that the way in which they are deciding whether or not you mislabeled your video is through computer AI.
Oh, that's bad news.
YouTube, I would assume, like Facebook or whatever, I know Facebook for sure has human people who will go through stuff that's been flagged and decide themselves. I would assume that YouTube has that kind of stuff. I don't know. What I do know for sure, because they've talked about it, they specifically talk about it in the videos they've put out about this whole thing, is that, let me see if I can find this quote. They basically pledged to use algorithms to decide whether or not your video is mislabeled. And that's a real issue here to me, is that it's such a subjective term. What's the old quote from like the senator or whatever who just said, like, I couldn't define pornography, but I can tell you when I see it, or something like that.
Oh,
like,
right.
Yeah, like when you actually see it, you absolutely know that it's inappropriate or whatever. And we're talking about YouTube videos. That makes it much easier. A computer program could be misprogrammed or have a glitch or whatever, but also it's just such a hit or miss kind of thing. What do you program into your computer program to decide whether or not something is for children?
There's also going to be a tough part of them, like people who are trying to just optimize for views and create nonsensical garbage videos that maybe they're ad based, or maybe they're something to that nature, where the video itself, it isn't bad for kids, but it's definitely manipulative. And so you have to decide for, like, individually per person, if per video, there has to be a decision of, okay, this isn't inappropriate, but it is manipulative. It's not. We should probably not allow this. There has to be that distinction.
Here's where it gets worse. I was wrong. That was not the last thing, and also not the worst thing about this. In its video yesterday, the video we were talking about before, where it's talking about like how we can't give legal advice or whatever.
Right.
YouTube also pledged to use machine learning and flagging algorithms. So thanks. Like we pledged to let robots do this for us. To locate child-directed videos that may have been mislabeled, listen to this. Creators won't be able to appeal those decisions.
Oh, come on.
Though a YouTube spokesperson said the company will be listening to feedback.
What feedback?
I hope you're listening to it right now, guys.
Yeah, what
The internet is abuzz with feedback.
We're gonna remove your way to give us feedback, but we'll listen to feedback.
Feedback, I assume, would just be general comments or stuff that you send to YouTube.
So what you're saying,
but apparently
is that
you cannot appeal the decision made by their robot that you have mislabeled, and now you owe them $42,000.
That is ridiculous.
Yes,
to me.
that is absolutely like nefarious.
So to me, here's what, as the way things are going right now, here's what this will cause. Content creators are gonna err on the side of caution as often as possible, unless you have ticked every box that you can possibly think of. They're gonna say no, it's not for children.
Yes.
Then kids who are going to YouTube are going to receive less and less content.
Yes.
And they're not going to want to bother that much anymore.
Right.
Or there are going to be teens on YouTube that are going to be like, I'm 13. I want to be able to watch whatever I want to watch. My mom and dad don't care. I'm just going to say I'm 18.
Right.
And now pretty much this entire thing has been circumvented. The very young don't watch YouTube anymore. And the tween, and teenager area are lying about their age. And now this whole thing has been made useless and pointless.
Right.
And when a little bit more clarity would have helped this, instead, 5 years from now, 1 year from now, it's all just going to be moot anyway.
Right. Yeah, to me, I feel like YouTube's kind of banking on that. They're just trying to say, okay, we got the rules in place.
Right.
Oh, okay, well, I guess all these people are 18. That's what they told us or whatever. Or, there is a YouTube Kids function.
Right.
That is a thing where you are only able, as a child, like if you're on the YouTube Kids section of YouTube, it's like you cannot even search for anything else. But that already exists. So I think they're just trying to crack down on people who are not,
the thing with YouTube Kids is there's still a high probability of you getting something weird and random or whatever else. Not bad, just weird and random. But when Amazon Prime Kids is an option and Disney Plus Kids is an option, Netflix Kids is an option.
Yeah.
There's no reason. I have seen YouTube Kids and I don't care. There's no reason for me to care about YouTube Kids when I have Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Plus.
Yeah. So let's kind of wrap up the conversation here with talking about what should YouTube do? How do they fix this situation?
Believe it or not, I actually think they're on the right track.
Well, sure, I would agree with that too.
Yes.
What can they do to make it better?
Clarity, and that's really it for me. And that would be them taking a good idea of the videos that are made that end up as children's videos or whatever else, and saying, okay, of these videos, here are the things that are done right, here are the things that are done wrong. Let's list some of these as examples. And here's some suggestions. Here's some little things here and there that we think do and do not make children's videos.
Yeah.
And then make it very clear at the end, okay, these are all the things that you could not do, whatever else. At the end of the day, it has to be your choice, though. And they've already kind of done that, but it's so vague.
Yeah.
If they could just go in and give a little more clarity, I would be 100% willing to read 2 pages of things so I could be very clear on my stuff instead of 1 paragraph or whatever it is right now.
Yeah, I am concerned about children watching some of our videos.
Right.
I will readily admit that the games that I don't even feel like I'm admitting, just some of the games we play are not for children.
Yeah, not at all.
That has been determined by the ESRB.
Hey, kids, don't watch Resident Evil 2.
Don't watch Resident
There's
Evil
so
2.
much
You'll have
blood.
nightmares.
Yes.
So that's what I think should happen is more of an ESRB style, like age ranges. You have your E for everybody. You have your E10, like your preteen kind of thing. You have your teen. You have your mature. You have your rated R, whatever. And I think a big part of this should come down to the community self-policing. I understand that feels like cringeworthy, like, oh, the online communities. It works. It works. It works with like political stuff on Facebook, or that's a whole different thing because Facebook doesn't care about truthfulness in their political ads.
That's been very clear.
Straight up said that they don't care. But I allow the community to flag things down. I mean, at the end of the day, although I can't leave this, we can't just say do this. Like, parents, pay attention.
Right.
Make sure you know what your kids are watching. I understand that that's not like the end all be all, because at the end, like, the internet is so pervasive that you're never going to be able to 100% police everything your children see on the internet, but that's important. And then if you find something that is mislabeled, like, know what the labels are, just like with video games, know what they mean and decide for your child whether or not you are okay with them.
Yeah.
Consuming whatever it is they're consuming. I like the idea of more nuance though. I don't want children or no.
Right.
Because it's clarity, but I want more
agree.
Levels of, okay, this could be for some kids.
Like our Kingdom Hearts stuff
Yeah,
that we did.
yeah.
Do I think that's for 5-year-olds? No.
No,
I
they
don't.
might not be interested in it.
Yeah.
Part of me is just like, what are they going to be interested in watching also? But like, yeah, it's got lots of Disney that they like, but it also is a violent game.
Well, and then you and I, we make poop jokes and other innuendo.
Right,
and
right,
things like that.
right,
Little
right.
things here and there, but nothing horrific.
Sure, exactly.
But
so
you're 10? Sure. Go watch our Kingdom Hearts stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm fine, and I'm also fine with pretty steep fines too. I think that's fair. Like, if you care about this, if this is going to be important, then there needs to be consequences.
Right.
Now, appealing? Yes, you need to be able to appeal.
Yes.
Hey, your machine learning thing failed here.
Yes.
It said that my Kingdom Hearts video is for children or is for adults or whatever, and it's not.
It's an AO
It's
game.
not. That's Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's some changes, but I also am not 100% like YouTube is terrible or the FTC is
I'm
in
not,
the wrong.
The only thing I'm really mad at right now is the vagueness of YouTube.
Yes.
Nuance is a really great idea. Give some more options to that.
We have talked about how vagueness in some ways is good. It allows content like hosts to decide what they want on their thing, but YouTube has forever been a mostly creator-oriented site where there's little to no oversight of what's actually loaded uploaded, except for like extreme content like pornographic material and
right.
Certain levels of violence and things like that. So yeah, if you're gonna continue being a content creator friendly platform, then be as friendly as possible by letting them know what they can and cannot upload and what is okay for kids or not.
I'll say this: they've been really clear about their gun stuff.
Yeah, that's true. We talked to Dan.
Yeah,
you go back ways back in the nerdy gritty. And we had a conversation about this. His complaint there also was they didn't really tell me what the problem was. They weren't clear with what he had a content strike and he didn't know why.
He got the content strike because that was right when it happened.
Yes.
Like a month later, they came out with really, really clear guidelines on gun content.
Yeah. So do that.
Yeah. Come out with clear guidelines and with more nuance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for giving us your thoughts on everything beforehand. Also, let us know what your thoughts are on COPPA.
Thank you to Granger for allowing us to use your great song, All My Friends Have Wi-Fi, and that's where I'm going to end the title of the song.
All my friends have Wi-Fi.
Ooh, Wi-Fries.
Wi-Fries.
Delicious.
All my friends have Wi-Fi, and some of my neighbors do too.
Hey, you got it. Good job.
I looked it up beforehand to be
off
sure.
the album Dear Sam. It's a sweet, sweet track.
Man, the whole album hit me open-handed in the face. It slaps, man.
Are you okay? Oh, I see. Yeah, it's straight
good.
fire, yo. All right.
Thanks a lot, guys. Let us know what you think. Say the game, say bye. Bye.
Bye.
My voice sings